everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Lions Game Day Friday. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there, multiple-time NBA champion Lindsey Hunter. We have Sam Flannel. We have our guy Lucas in the TD booth. Spencer Raxter has the day off today. And, Lindsey, I had this. Look. I'm going to turn this down, Flannel, because we're getting feedback in our ears.
Yeah.
But I had this grandiose show lined up, Lindsey, where it's Lions Game Day Friday. We're ready to go.
Pumped,
stoked, bricked, all of it. We are ready. We are ready to go, ready to get into it. Last night, went to a concert, went and saw Darius Rucker at the Michigan Lottery Amphitheater.
I wanna be with you.
Yeah, dude. And he showed out, man.
That was my
He showed
guy,
out.
man.
Yeah. It was great. He had energy, and I've been to a concert in a minute. He had energy, and it was a lot of fun. Couldn't wait to discuss it with everybody. But, Lindsey, as you notice, apologize for being a few minutes late here.
Well, things happen,
They do.
Always to us, though.
Yeah, which is really, really wild. But you'll notice, we're a little bit late getting on. We do apologize for that, but we are up and at 'em. And when I walked in the studio, Sam Flannel was waxing poetic about the morning show.
Gloating. Was he gloating?
Oh, yeah, we had a great show.
Yeah.
Everything was all lined up. The execution was flawless.
I wonder, did they have that echo in their mic like we have?
No, they didn't. They didn't, as a matter of fact.
I don't think we did. I'll try to investigate that for us, so I'll try to dispose of it.
Okay, Lucas is rapping, so I had to turn the volume back up to hear what he said. Now I got to turn it back down because of the feedback. But whatever. I don't want to get labeled as a whiner or things like that. Neal will make it work, man. We'll be okay.
Hey,
right?
Look, Neal, you're the talent. That's what you're paid for, to make it work.
Yes.
Under adverse situations, when your back is against the wall, you make it work.
No, absolutely. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump in to there. Get your thoughts out there. Detroit Dabber 313. Good morning and happy Friday. Todd, same with the happy game day. It is. We're going to get into all that. I got my Andre Ware draft hat on today. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Dos Burrito. I'm telling you all, it's a sabotage. You know what, Dos Burrito? Morning show, flawless. You bet your ass it's flawless for Ermanni and Edwards. Or else they'll be hell to pay around here. But, Lindsey, you and I were talking before the show. Sometimes you get penalized for being good at what you do, and I'm starting to think that's the case here. You gave me an example in your NBA career.
Yes.
Share that with the audience.
Well, we were going on this horrendous stretch of unbelievable two guards. I think we had the Knicks, which was Allen Houston at the time in his prime. Pacers, Reggie Miller. Then we went out Philly with Allen Iverson. Milwaukee with prime Ray Allen. And then we went out to West Coast with Kobe Bean Bryant. And some coach had a miraculous idea. It was like, you know what? Let's let Lindsey guard all the two guards. And they came to me and was like, yeah, we're going to let you guard. I'm like, you're going to let me? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm like, but I'm a point guard. Let me guard the guys that I guard.
Well, Lindsey, you were an established defender in the NBA. So You know what, Lindsey? Go make it work.
And that's what that's what happened.
But go make it work. And that's what happened. Lorena Rios, Neal, just don't be obtuse. I will not. Let's go Red Wings Party. We'll do it live, Uncle Neal. We showed up and we're doing it. All I know is this. From 2 to 4, these things don't happen. And come to find out, from 8 to 10, they don't happen. But 11 to 1, they do. Right. Sam Flannel, you said you had a, quote, flawless morning show.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Neal. I don't think I've ever had more respect for you than I do at this moment, because you are holding us all together by a thread at this point. Same with Lucas Klotz. He was brought in far out of the bullpen because Lucas he's one of the MVPs of the network, and he had plenty of other work to do, but he came in to help us. So
thank you,
Lucas. Thank you, Neal Ruhl, and thank you, Lindsey Hunter.
Yeah, that's not really going to cut it. The platitudes aren't really going to cut it. I'm not in for that. But, again, you get penalized for being good, Lindsey. That's the message I want everybody to take away. And we're going to do the show, and it's going to be a good show.
Absolutely.
Could you imagine, like, we've talked to you guys about the show sheet. Could you imagine if Ermanni and Edwards came in here
Without a show sheet?
and said, hey, put the show together? Could you imagine, Flannel, what would that be like?
It wouldn't happen.
Oh, it wouldn't.
Wow.
Now, did you see the conviction in which he said that, too?
That's putting salt in the wound.
Yeah. I mean, and he was so it wouldn't happen. Like, he was offended. I even suggested, I even brought it up as a hypothetical.
Oh, man.
It wouldn't happen. Like, he's angry with me now.
No. I'm not angry.
There was a bit of conviction in that it won't happen.
Blade Nice Wood says, LOL Flannel, you're funny for that one. People are falling out, too, of LOL on Sam Flannel. So, Todd Sane says they would just leave. They also said that's because Ryan Ermanni is a celebrity. And, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Again, I don't know, man. But, hey, we'll do it. We'll sit down. We'll rock the show. Everybody here at Woodward, we can wear this one, and we can just move on. And guess what? When the show's done, it'll be a good show.
Absolutely.
You won't even have known if I didn't say anything other than, coming on late. But whatever. We just move it on. Jack Stark, Ermanni and Edwards is a Jets love fest. Anyway, well, in the morning show, too, you're a Jets lover right now, aren't you, Flannel?
He loves the Jets.
I think they're going to be good with Aaron Rodgers. But to be fair to Ermanni and Edwards, Braylon Edwards actually played and had some of the most success of his career as a member of the New York Jets. So I give him a pass.
Yes. So, Lorena Rios, I like this one. We'll address this now. Neal, the Tigers won 3 out of 4 from the first-place Twins, only 7 games out. Here we go again.
Just when we thought it was dead.
I know, man.
What were they, 10 games like at the beginning of the week? 10 games out?
Yep.
Back down to 7. They have life again.
Stop kicking the dead horse.
Yeah. Why do you do this to the people,
Neal
Lucas?
loves the Tigers. The Tigers are Neal's favorite team.
Yeah. Lucas, don't do this to the people again.
I just know you.
Don't do. No, see, you're
They're your
part
favorite
of the problem.
team. They're your favorite team.
They are.
So give you the limelight.
I watch
to
them
talk
every
about
day,
them.
which is how I know they're not capable of making up a 7-game deficit.
I never said
because they get
were.
shut out once every 4 games.
I just said they were 10 games out at the beginning of the week.
Uh-huh.
That's all I said.
No.
This narrative
That's not
you're
all you
pushing
said.
on me.
Everybody talks to me about tone, and listen to these two MFs. Listen to them. Listen to Lucas there. I'm not propagating that the Tigers are going to come back. Yes, you are. The way you said it. Your tone suggests
No, those
that.
are your
They were
Tigers.
10
Those are
games
my
back, now they're
Tigers.
7.
Those are not my Tigers.
Well, according to Lucas, they'll catch the Twins by the end of next week.
That's what I said.
So
everybody
Lucas,
heard it.
Lucas, you're from Detroit, right?
No, I'm from the glorious city of Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, you're from Toledo.
Yeah, I've just moved up here to Detroit probably like 2 months ago with Easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's Sam Flannel. What if this happened to Ermanni and Edwards? Oh, it wouldn't happen. That's tone.
Hey, he said that really fast.
I
with
wasn't
conviction.
angry. I'm just saying that
No,
it's.
you just said it with certain confidence and conviction.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that would never happen.
Like we as a network would never allow that to happen
Right.
to the 2 to 4 show. Never.
Like you peasants, that would not happen to that
Oh,
royalty.
come on.
No.
Is it
on.
1 o'clock yet? Are we done with this
Come on.
foolery?
Come on.
I can't wait for it to be 1.
That's
What
not
can we do
true.
for my show in the morning?
I wax poetic about how much respect I have for you that you're helping hold it all together.
Yeah.
So
Because I'm not buying that bullshit.
Oh, come
I'm not
on.
buying it. Because I get it every time. And Brent says Neal's in his feelings today. LMAO. Brent, what's your workplace like? Tell me about how smooth it is. And everything's just given to you. While everybody around you gets everything. Here's you, the sucker in the room. And Lindsey, again, we've had this discussion before. I just have to come to grips with it. I'm an idiot. That's
Hey.
it. Like,
No, you're not an idiot.
yes,
That's not
apparently
it.
I am.
No.
Apparently
do
I
you have
am.
any words for that?
Apparently I am.
That's the way life works sometimes. Like people that can solve certain problems, the problem seems to fall in their lap and they're responsible for fixing it, right?
Patrick says, glad to see the brick level is high. We're going to get into that. Lions, Giants tonight. Eric Burrows says Toledo, a.k.a. Baby Detroit. Is that true?
I mean, it's like, per capita probably.
Yeah?
Detroit's obviously much larger, but there's just as many meth pipes and meth needles, everything you want. They innovate the drugs down there. So
Okay.
anything you want, they got it.
And Lucas is there was a lot of knowledge in those comments right now. Hey, since there's no rundown, tell me what commercial you want me to do right now, guys.
Ooh, let's see. You know what would be a good one? I like that new Mark White commercial.
Which one?
The new Mark White.
Mark White and Associates?
Yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah, let's do it.
I got Mark White.
Oh,
Oh.
Flannel's got to do
Yep.
that. Hey, my apologies to Mark White and Associates.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called the Minute-by-Minute Listing Agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Off and running, allegedly. Neal Ruhl, Lindsey, Hunter, Sam Flannel, Lucas in here today. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports Network YouTube page, and you can jump in the chat, get your thoughts out there. We'll be taking them all day long. And I said, like a lot of times, I let you guys program the show, but there's an overriding, topic that we're going to be getting to here with the Lions and the Giants. Just cleaning up some stuff here from the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Bright says, dudes, this is not Flannel's fault. Everybody move on and talk sports. Hey, Bright, happens all the time, bro. When's enough for you at your job, Bright? Huh? When's enough for you? When do you snap at your job, bro? Everything just smooth for you? Do you work on Ermanni and Edwards show? That's a very that's a very easy take to have. He must work on Ermanni and Edwards show where everything goes well all the time.
Yeah.
They
get the cushy headphones.
Yeah. LFG, I miss seeing Sam Flannel be abused by Neal on Big D Energy. This isn't me abusing Sam Flannel. Flannel was here. I will give him that. He was here.
Yep. I'm about as dependable as 7-Eleven. Always open.
Yeah,
Always
Flannel
here.
gets here he gets here right before me usually. He gets here around like 7 o'clock. Lydia had to yell at him the one day. He's pounding on roast door at like 6:55 and told him to shoo away. And he's like, well, can I come in at 6:30 when you get here then? Early bird gets the worm, Flannel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for the morning show, yes.
No,
Not
yeah.
for the midday show. There are no worms. Sean Round says El Mago is back. I'm getting a lot of El Mago is back. He's not back, right? Right?
No, he's not.
Okay. I was told he was. But yeah, so lots of Flannel bozo stuff on there as well. But yeah, Lions, Giants tonight. And Lindsey, it's pretty simple, man. Like, there's one thing to you, to me, to Lucas, to Flannel, to everybody watching, even to you, Lindsey. There's one thing that you want to see. And I think that's different for everybody. We can cross off the injury thing. Don't give me the healthy thing.
Right.
All right? I will say this, for entertainment purposes only, the Giants a 2.5-point favorite in the betting line. Let me say this, first off, if you're betting on preseason football, and I enjoy talking about gambling as much as the next guy. I give you guys good picks. I've won you a lot of money. If you're betting on preseason football,
Seek help.
yeah, for
Seek
real,
help.
let's just cut the shit. Seek some help. All right?
You need something to juice up the life.
Now,
A preseason over, you hit it. Ooh, like what's the best you get out of that?
well,
like 10 bucks and
preseason
some
overs
pride?
never hit.
Yeah.
They never hit
Good point.
because of fourth-string quarterbacks in there.
Right.
But, Lindsey, for me, now if you want to do like $5 on it, $10 on it, just because you're going to watch it anyway, I
Right.
can't hate that. But if you're betting north of $20 on a preseason, and I don't care how much money you got,
Yeah, you have a problem.
you got a problem,
Yeah.
plain and simple.
Yep.
I know this is like the Planet Fitness Studios and the Judgment Free Zone, except if you're betting more than $20 on a preseason game, then I'll judge.
Right.
I'm sorry.
That's what you got a right to.
Yeah.
There is seriously something wrong with you betting on preseason games.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, Bradley K says, I bet on preseason. It's the only way I actually want to watch, LOL. I'm 2-0 in preseason right now. I'm only doing $5. I'm only doing $5 bets. Okay.
All right.
Cool. Understand that. Rack says, what's worse, betting on preseason football or Brandon Katz betting on the WNBA? It's a great question. DNC ENT, I went 4-0 last night. Texans money line under 36.5. Seahawks money line over 35.5. 4-leg parlay, $10 to win $108.
Oh my!
You did not, DNC ENT.
We got to see the receipts for that.
People are out
Because
here.
like that's just throwing shit at the wall too. Because it's not like you go, oh, in the second quarter, Nick Mullins is gonna come in here and tear it up with the Vikings second unit against the Seattle Stars. Like you have no clue who's playing that game, so that's just hopelessness. You're just trying to make some money. I mean, I'm not saying overall, but as far as betting purposes, you're just throwing anything at the wall and hoping
but
it
again,
sticks.
$10 if you're gonna watch all the games anyway. I can
understand
ride.
it.
It's $10, man. You're gonna spend $10 on something more stupid every day of your life anyway.
I guess I'd rather spend it on something else.
All right.
Something
Quarter
else
tank of
stupid.
gas. That $10 can get you that. I'd rather have that.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But if people want to do it, I'm all right with it. But anyway, getting back to Lions Giants, over under 35.5. By the way, just in case you guys want to know.
Get your locks ready.
Yeah, give me your bets in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. If you had to bet the Lions game today. No, but Lindsey, everybody's looking for something specific that they want to see. What's the biggest storyline to you that you want to see with the Lions? Health aside.
Yeah.
And I think mine is what a lot of people's will be. But where are you at with it, Lindsey?
Well, I think preseason, you don't really get to see the starters like we talked about. But I just want to see how they are approaching the game, how they're going to play, the formats they use. I think that can tell you how they're trying to play. Because that's what I want to see. I want to see if they're going to really have a balanced attack, or are they going to air it out a little more than normal, or are they going to be conservative and run the ball a lot? I want to see that process. That's what I always.
So you're
look
looking
for
more
a team.
philosophical.
Yes.
Okay, and I get that because that is a storyline. Like,
Yes.
does this offensive line, that's a top 5 offensive line in the league, in my opinion, do they grow to another level? Do they assemble that attitude of saying, no, we're running the football on you,
Right.
and they say, no, you're not, and they say, oh, but we are.
Right.
And you do not have a choice in the matter. We are running the football on you because they've showed that.
Yes.
They've showed that. I was listening to a couple of the national financial podcasts, and they were discussing that with the Lions. With that seems to be their philosophy that they will be more than capable. They did it last year of just force feeding you the run. Right. And I'll go into it, and I know this is going to carry on. Jonah says, when is the next fruit draft? I don't know, probably the next show. It's probably what we'll be reduced to here on Big D Energy for the next show. Dose Burrito, I'll put a nickel on no call in today on the show because of flannel. You probably would get paid there, but it'd probably only be it'd be minus 500 though, so you'd only get 1 penny.
You know what this is? You know how sometimes it's a total team loss? I think today that's what it is. It's just a total team. We had no chance. I mean, we're still going to put on a good show, but as far as peak X's and O's, I'm not sure.
Nick Lucido in the WoodwardSports.com chat. We met Nick at the draft party. Remember that? Had the Danny Dimes jersey on. He said, if you were talking Giants football, you know I'm in the Woodward Sports chat, Neal. So there is a resident Giants fan among us.
He's been quiet for a while. Hasn't he?
Hey, they got a playoff dub, man. They did.
I guess.
Yeah. For me, you guys know where I'm going with it. It's Jameson Williams all the time. And that's the only thing I have an interest in.
And Neal, to your credit, to me, that's I think I know what he is, and I think you also.
I have a good idea.
Yeah. To me, he's that. I expect him to be great when he gets a chance to play. I'm not worried about him.
No, and I'm not coming at it from the angle of I'm worried about Jameson Williams. I want the Lions to get involved in this too. And to be fair, look, I've been labeled a Jameson Williams simp, and that's fine because I like talent. I'm crazy like that. I know. I love mercurial talent. I love talent that nobody else, around him seems to have. But with that being said, I'll be fair about it. Like, I want to see some shake tonight. Right. I do. I do want to see, little something here, a little something there. But it's also on the Lions. Because for all this talk about, and some of the media around town and the podcasts and things like that, they love to put up, make their little graphic with the one reception. Right. That's like a hill they're going to die on. And as we've talked about before, I can very easily flip that around and put a graphic, 1 touchdown for every 9 targets. That would make you mercurial in this league. Right. You see what I'm saying? So I can play that game too. But it's time to see. So I'm putting this on the Lions some too. I'm putting this on Ben Johnson. I'm putting it on Dan Campbell. Where Dan Campbell said, hey, he set the groundwork for this earlier this week and said, hey, he's going to get just bathed in reps. Which my response to that is plays, right, Lindsey? Like reps.
Absolutely. And he needs it. They know what they're up against as far as him missing games. And just trying to keep him as sharp as possible. Because it's going to be hard to be sharp without playing. So rightfully so. The thing is, who's going to be throwing those passes to him?
Hope to God not Adrian Martinez.
It's going to be Goff for a series, right? That's what it was last year.
I feel like if Goff wasn't playing, they would have already ruled him out.
What's that?
I feel like if Goff wasn't going to be playing tonight, we would have known by now. What I mean?
He'll play, but I know last year when they played Atlanta, they played one series, he took him down the field, they scored a touchdown, and then that was a wrap.
Right.
So that's where it is, too. And because I want to draw the battle lines. And when we come back from the break, we're going to make this a segment. And it's time to put up or shut up with the Jameson Williams thing. And I'll try to explain my angle on it and things like. I want to have a civilized discussion. I don't want it to get political. Right. You know how it seems like it's taken on like that political tone?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that with that discussion. But I do want to hear what you guys are looking for. Flannel, what do you want to see here tonight? Besides Patrick Mahomes.
Hey.
He's not playing.
I'll give you an interesting position battle because obviously it's going to be a lot more about the backups than the starters. What about the wide receiver room? Because you see a guy like Dylan Drummond, an undrafted player coming out of Eastern Michigan. He's showing out in camp. And if there's any couple of players that you haven't been hearing the most glowing reviews about, it would be Denzel Mims, Antoine Green, or even Josh Reynolds. I think his roster spot is fine. But still, are Denzel Mims and Antoine Green, are either of them in danger of losing their job to an undrafted free agent rookie? We shall see. Dylan Drummond seems like the perfect candidate to be a preseason star.
Nicholas Duncan in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread with the hashtag FreeJMO. So that one, WoodwardSports.com, get your free JMO t-shirt.
Yeah, get your merch.
Yes. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Dirty Dr. D says our defense going to kill the Giants backups. But remember this too, because that line, that point spread, tells me that Jared Goff has maybe got a series, maybe 2 at the most. And this is going to be Sudfeld's show. Ugh. That's what the line tells you, bro.
No, I believe you 100%. It's just I hate seeing Nate Sudfeld just walk out on the field. It makes me kind of nauseated. It's like makes me happy we got Teddy Bridgewater, and I didn't care for what the total was, Neal. I know you did, but just seeing Teddy Bridgewater go out there instead of Nate Sudfeld will make me feel a whole lot better. In the regular season.
They'll say he'll probably play next week.
Yeah, he's not going to play this week.
Yeah. What commercial you want me to do now?
Ooh. SMA
it is.
Sure. Let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. The podcast called This is the S Word helps address the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com. The Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new Field House. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Neal Ruhl here for 5 Iron Golf, where you can play, practice, and party at 5 Iron Golf, located inside the Cambria Hotel. Downtown's newest sports bar has 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and a full bar and restaurant. Mention promo code Woodward at checkout. Get 50% off your first visit. Go to 5irongolf.com right now. Get your tee time all set up, and make sure you mention promo code Woodward. 50% off at checkout. Downtown Detroit. That's 5 Iron Golf. Keeping it pushing here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel. Lucas was kind enough to join us about 4 minutes before the show started. And Lucas, happy to have you with us.
I appreciate it, Neal. Happy to be here.
When you come through in the clutch, you're Lucas.
What else would I be?
When you start with some of the crazy takes you got, you become Luke.
They're not crazy takes. I just think they escape reality for some people when they realize that if you just look a little bit further down the line, it's going to happen. Because if there's one thing I know, Neal, it's ball. And the chat can tell you the same thing.
Okay. I love it, though. I do love it. All of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread as well. Nicholas Duncan says Teddy plays next week. You want to jump in there and get your thoughts? Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel and fire away. But Lindsey said he wants to see a philosophy. He wants to see a clear and precise philosophy. And I kind of piggybacked on that. That's one of the side things I'm looking for, because I do think that the offensive line is capable of another gear. I do think that they can drive people further, off the line of scrimmage, and that stuff's an attitude. You were talking about we're talking about getting thrown to the wolves, with Big D Energy here and everything. Like you talked about that, where it happened to you in your career.
Absolutely.
And you loved it. You laugh about it, but you loved it, low key.
Of course. I mean, we all love a challenge, and everybody, if you're a competitor, when things seem like it's against, your back's against the wall, you want to prove people wrong. Like, oh, I can do this. I don't care what you say,
Right.
But like you said, if in order for them to be a next level team, that offensive lineman is gonna have to have another gear. They're gonna have to be, we watched Philly play all year last year, and when they needed tough yardage, what did they do?
Just pushed them forward.
They just pushed you out the way.
Right.
And everybody in the stadium knew what was going on. Oh, here comes this illegal quarterback sneak. And they lined up, and they pushed your ass straight back, and they got the first down every time.
Couldn't stop it.
Right.
Still should be legal, by the way, too. There's no way they should make that an illegal play.
Right.
Can't stop it. Learn how to stop it. It's the most football play there is.
Yep. That's as basic as it. They were doing that in the 1900s. Back when Michigan was good and taking trains to games.
Hey, because especially when Hendon Hooker comes into town, he starts starting. I mean, that's going to be a hard boy to bring down, because he's, 6'4", 6'5"? Right over there behind Frank.
Frank
the Tank.
By
Jonah
the time
Jackson.
he's playing, he's going to be 30, isn't he?
Oh, I mean, even if he's so, he'd probably be better than Jared Goff.
Well, that doesn't matter anymore. Quarterbacks play well into their 40s.
That is true, depending on the quarterback. Paul Thomas says, I hope Teddy gets at least 4 downs tonight. He will not be in there tonight, from all accounts that I have heard. He will not be there. But, yeah, again, for me, though, getting back to the Jameson Williams thing, like what I want to see, I'm putting this on the Lions. Dan Campbell said it. He's going to get a ton of reps, so don't talk about it. Be about it and get him the rock. Like, that's it, and get him the rock in space. And get him. And look, I just want to warn against this, because last year, as we said, Jared Goff played 1 series. So, like, when Nate Sudfeld comes into the game, these things are not equal. And Lucas, I don't want your people to be getting upset when he's 3 yards open. And we've seen a lot of footage of this in camp.
Who are my people? What people am I being grouped with here?
Just your people.
Okay. The people that like Jameson Williams and believe in him?
Your people.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. I'm hearing you.
And I'll write the pass right now. You want to be upset about it? Fine. We can have a discussion about it. If he's out there with Nate Sudfeld and it's not working out, if you know what I mean,
yeah,
I don't want to hear that's on Jameson Williams.
I mean, that's fair. I'm agreeing with you there. I think, and no receiver with Nate Sudfeld throwing the ball should be blamed for the lack of offense. But to your point, I think they are going to kind of unveil J-Mo. I mean, we saw him in the end around against Chicago. I think either way they're going to get the ball in his hands. We might even see him returning some kicks. You never know. We don't know what we're going to see out of Jameson Williams. But I think he is going to produce regardless.
Blade in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread says, I'm yo people, Lucas.
Well, yeah, I'm happy we're together.
There's one. I like it. But yeah, so, I mean, for me, I want to see it, but I want to see it on the Lions' end, too. And I do have expectations. It is time now for Jameson Williams. This is your time right now. Until you're back from your suspension, this is the time. What do you think? And look, I'm asking to speak for a different era of athlete. Put yourself in those shoes, Lindsey. What would be going through your mind tonight?
If I'm Jameson?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm excited to play, because of all the turmoil he's been through, and now he can get on the field and put all this stuff away, So that's like a place that he can kind of relax and do what he's born to do. But the second thing is, as a receiver, and you don't have your number one guy throwing the ball to you, that's kind of worrisome, because you're not going to be able to run the same routes the way you would if you got a guy that you're comfortable with in the pocket, So I think people can't really fairly judge him on the performances in the preseason because he won't be playing with with golf. So I'm not looking for him to. Hopefully he does do some spectacular stuff and they force feed him a bit, even if it costs them a couple of turnovers. I really would like to see them try that. Just feature him and hey, let's just let him throw a couple up and see if he can go get it, and just give him opportunities to do some special stuff.
And GW the Kid in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread kind of backs up your point there. Says that people need to keep in mind he doesn't have control of the ball getting thrown his way.
Right.
And I do, again, 1 touchdown every 9 targets. See how I can play that game too? You see what I'm saying though, Lindsey?
Right.
And that's it. I want to see them make a commitment to him.
Right.
We've all talked about this. The Jameson, the Jameson Williams haters and the detractors and everything like this. But it's on the Lions too. It's on the coaching staff too. And I want that out there, man.
I think we're all with you, Neal. I mean, at least the people with somewhat of an IQ, because I don't understand how you could blame, because I'm with you. Jameson Williams' talent is through the roof. But you can only contribute with that talent if you get the ball in his hand. And if you're relying on Nate Sudfeld in the preseason to get him ready for the regular season, I think that's an issue.
Nick Earl says, I hope Nate Sudfeld gets booed out of the building.
What?
How did Nate Sudfeld get in everybody's crosshairs all of a sudden,
I mean, I'm not a Nate Sudfeld fan, but QB3 is fine. I mean, it's whatever. They called him a mini Jared Goff, which is what really sent me through the walls. There's a clear level difference there. I get that maybe their style, the way they throw the ball, the same, but I mean, Kyle Shanahan can pretty much make any quarterback work, and they said, Nate, not here. So I think that speaks enough to Nate Sudfeld.
Here's the one I was looking for, and I know that the WoodwardSports.com chat people will always give it to me. I just got to wait for it. William Rhodes, does J-Mo burning second stringers really show us anything? Well, then why are you going to watch, William? Like, what can he do for you then?
Well, see, here's the problem with that analysis, because if he doesn't go out and do well, then they say, well, he was playing against second string. He couldn't even get open against these guys.
Like, he's in a no-win spot.
Exactly.
And that's why I want the battle lines drawn right now. If he goes out there and cooks second stringers, I don't want to hear it, man. Because what else is available?
Exactly.
They can't play the Chiefs tonight.
Right.
It's not week 1 of the season.
Yeah.
I want to see him get the football, and then I want to see everyone's reaction to it after he does. But he's got to get the football. And that's on the Lions.
Well, I think we've seen enough in training camp. He's been handing L's out to a lot of those D-backs in training camp, and those were starters.
Cam Sutton. And we were all saying, oh, well, Cam Sutton getting cooked all camp, and he was showing out in joint practice too. So it's not like Cam Sutton's a pushover like people were trying to make it seem for that week there. But J-Mo's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Lorena Rios. Adrian Martinez is going to impress.
No, he is not.
Yeah, no, he is not. No. And that is that. And look, that's what I was going to get into next segment. The things I don't want to hear on Monday.
Yeah, there we go.
There are some things I don't want to hear on Monday.
Yep.
Spoiler alert. That one of them concerns Adrian Martinez.
That's the headliner.
Yeah. So those are some of the things that I don't want to hear. But yeah, I mean we're just getting into it here. What about you, Lucas? I didn't get your take. What's the one thing you want to see most?
Sam Laporta, baby. Sam the Hall of Famer. His debut, we're going to be there, row 117. Well, no, section 117, row 1. So I'm going to see him right there. The prodigy that is Sam Laporta, the clone of George Kittle. He debuts tonight. I'm also interested to see the packages that Aaron Glenn rolls out there with the DBs. If we're doing like 2 safety look, 3 safety looks.
What's the one thing you want to see? The one thing.
Sam Laporta, simply put. Enough said.
Like, what do you want to see?
I just want to see Sam Laporta.
What, 2 catches for 105 yards? 2 touchdowns?
I'm going to go, we're going to see Laporta's stat line tonight, 3 catches, 42 yards. We'll give him a tutty.
You give him a tutty?
We'll give him
right.
a tutty.
I like Laporta also, but you got to pump your brakes with that comparison to Kittle's.
No, we're already down there. Kittle loves him too. Look.
Yeah, that Kittle loves him, but you got to pump your brakes. You got to do something first.
Well, I'm saying their play style. Their play style is eerily similar, and I think Laporta's going to work out. And when he works out, that's when you kind of be like, yeah, who does he remind you of? And he's going to remind you of George Kittle.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Brandon Doggs. So Brandon Doggs says, you're going to see nothing tonight. It's practice. Vanilla play calling, just getting reps. And that was one of the other angles I was going to talk about next. Like, because I'm not as bricked as we all are,
right,
and as stoked as we all are. I don't want to see that, Lindsey, where there's just either way, there's like a massive overreaction. Now, it's going to happen.
Yep.
We can't stop it. I know that. But, look, that is true, Brandon. But that's why the J-Mo thing is big to me, because of his style of play and the talent level he has. He's built for that, like
right,
high-level plays. He's built for it.
He is.
And that doesn't go away. So, I know it'll be vanilla play calling, but I do want to see him be dynamic, and that's on him. That's why it's my 2 camps. It's on him and it's on the Lions, because they've come out and said it, that this is going to be his training camp.
Well, they better hold true to their word.
What are you expecting out of J-Mo, Neal? What do you think stat line's going to be tonight?
I'm not concerned with, all I'm concerned with is targets.
Okay.
Right.
Touches.
That's the important thing for him tonight, to see how they try to incorporate him, and maybe we'll have some idea like, okay, they're really going to make an effort to get the ball to this guy.
And that's when he controls it.
Right.
It's up to the Lions until it's up to him. And when it's up to him is when he gets the football.
Exactly.
Like, it's very, very, I feel like I'm explaining something to my teenager right now. Like, this is all very simple. It's all very simple.
It seems simple, but then, trust me,
but then you get Nate Sudfeld
tonight,
and Adrian Martinez in the mix. That's all it takes. Complicate things real quick.
That is true.
Not for the defense, though.
What commercial you want?
Flannel, what
we got Lady Jane's, actually, because Lady Jane's is responsible for this head of hair that I currently have. Every single one of them and every single one of the stylists always does a great job, and you can walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not 1, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars. 1 for you and 1 for your wife, girlfriend, or best bud. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Neal Ruhl here for Academy of Warren. Brand new state-of-the-art Sports Dome field house with a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Can also be used for 7-on-7 football. Kindergarten through 8th grade. That features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, a learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and of course K through 8, kindergarten through 8th grade athletics. Ermanni and Edwards will be broadcasting Carefree from their carnival on August 24th. Come meet the staff and explore your child's new school. And they now are accepting new enrollment. Go to academyofwarren.net and enroll right now. It's Academy of Warren. Back at it, Big D Energy. Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel. Lucas here in the mix as well, in for Spencer Raxter. And here it is, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Your mom's favorite skater. J-Mo stat, 1 catch, like his career so far. You got a funny way of saying 1 touchdown for every 9 targets, your mom's favorite skater. That's a weird way of saying that.
That's a Flannel line, too. He talked about, what was it? Earlier this week, you talked about Nate Sudfeld and his career has the same amount of completions as Jamison Williams does catches?
Touchdowns.
Oh, touchdowns.
Yes.
So each one. Flannel always puts in J-Mo strays. I mean,
No.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
mean,
you
one for 9. That's technically 1 of every 9. You'd prefer for it to be 9 for 81 or something like that, but 1 for 9's good. It's solid.
Are you okay if in Jamison's career he gets 1 touchdown for every 9 targets?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because that's the pace he's on. I could play this game too. That's a pace he's on.
Would you be happy if he got 1 catch every 6 games he played? I can play that game as well.
No, well, then it stands to reason if he's getting a touchdown every 9 times, every 9 targets, it's probably on you to get him the football more, right?
I mean, all I'm saying is if Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson can get 1,000 yards in their rookie year, Drake London can get over 800, Christian Watson can get over 600, and Jahan Dotson can get over 500, then Jamison Williams should get enough targets next year to at least put up a damn good stat line. It's not, I mean, you got to get open to, which he will, but
I'm
no
just
excuses.
saying, though, if you get a touchdown every 9 targets and you average 41 yards per carry, hat tip Ryan Newmy, which he does, who's it on? Is it on the person deciding whether or not he gets a football?
It's either, honestly. I mean, I know Jamison Williams, it wasn't always his fault. The ball was underthrown to him against the Jets. 1 touchdown was called back, and he had that end around. He made a lot of dynamic plays. I'm just saying, his career stat line so far, 2 touches, 81 yards, 1 touchdown. Gotta see more.
Here on Mark M, 3 bad routes for every 1 good route run. Every 9 targets, it's a touchdown. I can play the math game too, guys.
1 for 9.
That's what makes me laugh about this shit, Lindsey. Like everybody in this town, their little graphics. You know, he had 1 catch last year.
Well, you know, analytics was brought into play to help people that, you know, didn't necessarily understand the physicality of sports. So they gave them analytics so they can analyze it with numbers, and you can make numbers say a lot of different things. I remember working in the draft, we had some analytical guys. One was from MIT, one was from Harvard. And they were super brilliant guys, but they put a draft board together with strictly numbers, and they said that from their numbers, Damian Lillard was projected to be a bust. Damian Lillard, the guy I had number 1 on my guard list.
Yeah.
They were like, he's going to be a bust. His comp was Jimmer Fredette. That was his comp.
Jimmer.
That's what they said.
Man.
That is bad.
And you saw him put in work. He finished 2nd in the nation in scoring his last year at college.
I watched him in person.
Yep.
And I was like, this dude, I said, he'll never fall to 10. We'll never get him. If he does, we better fall on our knees and thank God.
2nd in the nation in scoring, behind Oakland's Reggie Hamilton that year, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out Reggie, my guy. But yeah, you know what, Lucas? We can do flash polls, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you guys are doing this to me slowly. I see the slow grind. So let's do it right here, right now then. Right here, right now. And because I'm getting the sense like there are a lot of those anti-Jamison folks out there. I'm going to run this in the background. We're going to move on, but I'm running this in the background.
Okay.
If you could trade Jamison Williams right now, would you?
Okay.
Yes or no?
All right.
And get value. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think the return on J-Mo would be?
No, according to some of these people, maybe a 5th-round pick.
So for this hypothetical situation, what are you giving the J-Mo value? What are we trading him away for?
I don't know. Just like, what's the depreciation, right? If you don't want him, ... You know what I'm saying? Like, This isn't going to be... Because I am curious to see what the people would say. They go, I want 2 first-rounders. Oh, so you think he's good then? Say for a 3rd-rounder.
Okay.
Would you trade him right now for a 3rd-rounder? Which is proven to be a premium trade in the NFL. Fair?
Yeah.
Fair.
What we trade away Golden Tate for?
See what I'm saying? We talked that through. That's a great comp.
There we go. It's up.
third rounder.
Yep.
I want to see it. Right now, would you trade J-Mo for a third-round pick? For all this hate that's out there.
Man, no.
Lindsey, you're seeing it too.
I know, but I wouldn't do it.
I'm curious to see what the people
Not
say.
this early.
Some people are just talking. Who is Kalamazoo? Kalamazoo said, I'm starting to think that there are only 2 fans of all the teams, and that Spencer and Darren McCarty. Sam Flannel hates everything, but Michigan. Neal hates Michigan. Lindsey meat riding the 49ers.
You are, though, to be fair.
I'm not meat riding Kalamazoo. Who are you meat riding?
You are the 49ers.
I'm a 49ers fan since birth. What is he talking about?
Did you see that story that if they went to the Super
Shut
Bowl,
up, Kalamazoo.
they were going to
Rivers?
sign Phillip Rivers to be
Yes.
quarterback for the Super Bowl?
I like it.
Oh my God! How could you like that, Lindsey? At 40
Phillip
years
Rivers?
old, throw the ugly ass release.
Okay, so what team have you been rooting for your entire life?
Oh, I've been rooting for the Lions, unfortunately, but I'm
Phillip
happy
Rivers.
Phillip
so
Rivers is
you're
never
gonna
their
talk
quarterback.
shit about Phillip Rivers.
I am.
Stop
Rivers.
it.
Phillip
Stop it.
Rivers accomplished just as much as any other Detroit Lions quarterback. Man barely won a playoff game in his career. He
No,
needed
he won
LaDainian
playoff
Tomlinson
games, something you've
and
never
Antonio
seen.
Gates had
He
to
has
carry
actually
him too.
won
He
playoff
had
games.
the #1 offense and #1 defense, and they still didn't go to the playoffs.
He has actually won playoff games.
He needed to get carried by LaDainian Tomlinson.
Oh, he got
LT.
carried. Okay,
He
well,
did.
somebody should have carried one of these
He-
Lions teams to a victory.
They should have, but they didn't.
Right?
He's
Right?
Eli
Well, he did.
Manning. Eli Manning levels above Phillip Rivers.
No.
Drug test this guy.
2 rings. Hey, what has Phillip got?
Lucas Klotz.
What's up,
I
Flynn?
have to give you some context. The
All right.
greatest offense probably in the history of the NFL up to that point, that 2007 Patriots team, it was the Giants defense that held them to 14 points. Was it Eli Manning that gave Michael Strahan a nice slap on the ass before and was like, go out there and make those
No,
plays?
He pinned that dot right on David Tyree's head in the 2-minute drill.
Oh,
and then
it was
he
a
did
dot.
it again to Mario Manningham when they went back.
Oh, that
And
Mario
that was
Manningham
a
throw
great
was actually-
pass to his helmet.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, boy.
It was. Hey, but he did before that.
It was such a
He
good
was
throw, it stuck
wrapped
to his
up.
helmet.
Eli was wrapped up. He broke the tackle, created a play. If that was Patrick Mahomes, he'd been like, that's a vintage Mahomes
No,
right there.
Yeah, but that's the difference. Like you're saying, if that was Patrick Mahomes has been doing that since his rookie year. Like
Eli did it twice.
Those plays that Eli made were astronomical and great plays, especially when he made them. But that's not something he's known to do.
But I'm just saying,
And
but back
stop
to the whole
mentioning-
point, Phillip
you're
Rivers
mentioning
would
guys
never.
like Patrick Mahomes with. Come on, man. Eli
I'm
Manning?
making
Are you
points.
kidding me, Lucas?
We went far off
points
the Phillip
suck.
Rivers point, but Phillip
Rivers
Rivers
is-
was
come on, man.
Phillip Rivers was mid, and he had talent all around
Oh
him.
my God.
Mid.
And Eli Manning has never had an elite regular season. Not one.
The most elite stat Phillip Rivers has is that the amount of kids he has. That's the only thing that's like wowing about Phillip Rivers.
That's actually pretty elite.
You're a hater, Lucas.
I am
That's
a
okay.
Phillip
I
Rivers
admire
hater.
that about you.
Phillip Rivers and Tony Romo, keep them out of my face.
Okay, Lucas, let me just ask you this, though, because you saw what happened to the San Francisco 49ers quarterbacks in the NFC Championship game. Why the hell would you not go get Phillip Rivers? What are they going to do, start Christian McCaffrey? Come on. You'd probably rather have that, wouldn't you?
If they knew going into the game that they needed a quarterback, I'm not picking up the phone. Phillip, please help. There's about 30 other options out there.
Like who? Name one.
I would go Carson Wentz before Phillip Rivers, and I can't stand Carson Wentz. I can't stand
What the hell
Carson
is
Wentz.
Carson Wentz?
You had me, now you're losing me.
We're out of spot here. I got to think of Jacoby Brissett. I could you name half the backup quarterbacks around the league. I'm pulling the trigger on them.
What about America's favorite backup, Teddy Bridgewater?
Oh, Teddy Bridgewater would be money in San Francisco.
Yeah, but
they
he
got
was-
a perfect guy with Sam Darnold for him.
But
That's
he was
money.
He was playing. Teddy was already with somebody, so we couldn't get him. But Lucas, you're just talking right now. But I admire.
I can't
you know
stand
what?
Phillip
I
Rivers.
like. Yeah, you just got a personal
I
gripe
do.
against the guy.
I
That's
will
okay.
openly admit that. Him,
I
Tony
admire
Romo.
anyone that hates at that level. I admire that.
It's not so much a hate. It's just an annoyance of watching that awkward ass release with all that talent around him.
Well, plus
going
two.
nowhere.
Lucas, you know if you sign him to play in the Super Bowl, it's a 50-50 shot he'd have to leave during the middle of the game anyway because his wife would be giving birth to a kid.
That, and he'd be out of gas.
Yeah.
He's a more efficient trash talker than he is a thrower of the football.
Dude, he was good. I don't care what you say, Lucas. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a
Lucas.
fan of him, but the guy
Here,
was good.
you lost me with the Carson Wentz. When you made that right on the Carson Wentz lane,
I can understand
I
that.
kept going straight.
Carson Wentz makes my ears hurt too.
I want that on the record.
Yep.
However, if it were a Super Bowl and I have my choice between Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning, it's Eli Manning 100 times out of 100.
Fuck Nick Foles over Phillip Rivers. There we go.
BDN, yes.
That's what we want.
Yes.
Of course,
I'll
somebody
roll in the bowl with Nick Foles over Phillip Rivers
Of
any day
course,
of the week.
somebody who hates Phillip Rivers just meat rides Nick Foles. That's very odd brand, Lucas.
I watched Nick Foles win a Super Bowl when he shouldn't have.
That was an all-time great Super Bowl performance. It was.
And he didn't get in the way. Phillip Rivers, he can't. What we saw with him in the Colts in his last year was just disgusting to watch. It looked like a carcass of a man trying to throw a football 5 yards. He went to the defense every time. The offense struggled to put up 3 points and a half.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Would you right here, right now, would you trade Jameson Williams for a third-round pick? 91% of you say no, which is weird because that's in stark contrast to about the 40% of people that hate on this man on a constant basis.
Well, I think the hate is just for all the outside activity. I don't think it's like football related. You know, people are going to talk shit when you do things that out of the norm to them. You know,
Right.
and he's a young guy. I mean, that happens, man.
Yeah, but we're pulling up towards the second hour, and I do want to get into some college discussion second hour, which we certainly will. We're taking your thoughts to on the Lions Giants tonight. Bricked up. Ford Field busting at the seams, if you know what I mean. Everybody is ready to rock. What commercial you guys want?
We got Dispo, and
okay.
experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with Dispo Dispensary. Indulge in the finest selection of cannabis curated with care. With over 10 locations, Dispo is never far away. Visit disposhops.com today and unlock a world of endless possibilities in the realm of cannabis. Ermanni and Edwards will be there broadcasting live from 2 to 4 p.m., and the Woodward Heavyweights will be there from 5 to 7. I believe it's going to be Terry Foster and Detroit Kool-Aid actually hosting, so you are not going to want to miss that. That is disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, my guy Lindsey Hunter here in the fold, Sam Flannel, Lucas Klotz here as well. He's kind of on the ones and twos. Was a late start. We'll say it like that. You came in out of the bullpen today.
Good. It was a Brock Purdy start.
Absolutely.
That's what it was.
We appreciate it, though.
No problem.
Shout
out your Niners, Lindsey.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a quarterback that is not. I think kind of gets a little slandered nowadays. Brock Purdy, like he's a nothing. So I'll go Brock Purdy over Phillip Rivers too.
I would too, of course.
Oh yeah. You can agree.
Brock Purdy's the guy.
Over 40-year-old Phillip Rivers, yes, but as a career, slow down.
Nope.
Well,
Nate Sudfeld. Will Brock Purdy have a better career than Phillip Rivers?
No. You
He
can't
already
guarantee
has.
that. Oh,
He's just talking, man.
not dignifying that with a response.
We got you there. Ha ha! We got your ass.
How
I
about
love
them
it.
Lions though?
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Honolulu Blues Party. Neal, has there ever been a college stud who busted in the NFL? Just got to see more stats before I can say he will be a stud. But you can't deny the stats that he put up. The people that want to say one catch, I say a touchdown every 9 targets. We both can play that game both ways. Lions, Giants tonight. And I asked everybody, what's the one thing you want to see? I want to take that to the chat, too. What's the one thing that you guys want to see from the Lions tonight? Soft Jones says, let's just screenshot this entire chat. It is. Lorena Rios, Lucas is the Brock Purdy of Woodward Sports.
Hell yeah.
Let me see. Kalamazoo, before last season, Neal told me my Western Michigan Broncos were going to suck on the coach is going to get fired. So now I need a prediction for this season. I don't know what's changed. To be fair, I haven't done that deep dive on the ancillary stuff yet. You know, the MAC. I've started my Mountain West readings and everything like that. More on that a little bit later in the month. But I haven't done my, quote, deep dive on the MAC yet. I'll get there, though. I'll get everybody out there. But speaking of college football, I did want to share this one with you. My buddy just texted me this. And he sent me the text, and it said, Neal, there are some sick people in this world. And it's a tweet from Barrett Saleh that says, Iowa has announced that its game against Rutgers on November 11th is sold out.
Hell yeah.
Who would go to that? Like, of their own free will.
The same people that gamble on preseason games. The same people.
Iowa announces its game against Rutgers on November 11th is sold out. Flannel, you're a Big Ten slappy. Over-under of minutes you will watch the sold-out Iowa-Rutgers game on November 11th.
Probably about 13 and a half, because Iowa, even though they're the thing is they lost 3 of their best players to the draft: Lucas Van Ness, Jack Campbell, and Sam Laporta. 3 players that were actually worth watching. I know that they got this new quarterback in Cade McNamara and Eric All, but no, I'm not watching that game. Maybe I'll tune in if there's nothing else on.
This is why. Like the Big Ten, the criticism that it gets, this is why. Iowa-Rutgers sold out. Why? And I know it's Iowa. And I know they're all farmers and there's nothing else to do in Iowa. I get that. There is something else you can do with your time other than watch Iowa play Rutgers. Anything else. Build a ship in one of those bottles. You know how people do that? Do that. Put a puzzle together.
Oh, man.
Clean out your closet.
Well, you just said
Attend to the fields. The fields need mowed.
Yeah.
Something. There's something.
You just said there was nothing to do in Iowa, right?
There's anything else. There's still something else you can do other than watch Iowa-Rutgers.
What do you think the final of that game will be?
6-4.
I was thinking more 14-7.
No.
3 touchdowns.
They don't score 3 touchdowns in a season. Jack Carrington says, Jesus Christ, that sounds bad. What else would you rather do than go to Iowa-Rutgers? I'd rather go to the dentist and get dental surgery done. For real. For real.
Oh, my goodness.
This is your conference, Flannel.
I mean, why is it my conference? I'm a Michigan fan. I guess it makes it my conference.
Our
then.
resident Michigan fan. Sam
Michigan
Flannel.
fan. I'm not going to defend Iowa football. I mean, I guess if you're an Iowa fan, you're playing Rutgers at home. It's a game that you think that you could probably win. And going to a winning college football game of your favorite team is fun, no matter what. Even if it's Michigan early on in their non-conference games, it's fun. I think Neal Ruhl hates fun.
This is your conference, Flannel. This is what we're subjected to when you watch. And you guys wonder why I come out and speak out against critical of the Big Ten. This is why. Okay. This is why. And then you know what I'm going to have to hear too when they're 7-5 again. Well, you know Iowa, they're in a bowl.
Yeah. I mean, but you're acting like the SEC doesn't have Vanderbilt or even Miss. I'm not comparing the Big Ten to the SEC, but every single conference has their teams that are mid. I mean, the Pac-12 has Oregon State. They're basically the same.
Oregon
thing.
State's their feature team now.
Yeah.
Shoot, right? Ugh, not good for the future of the Pac-12 because they're a nice sort of watch too usually. But yeah, no, they're just one of those mid Big Ten teams. But every conference has mid teams, multiple mid teams, multiple bad teams.
Like Michigan for a while there in the Big Ten, football-wise.
Yeah, that's fair. During Rich Rod and Brady Hoke, absolutely they were.
Blitzberg says, you're mocking teams that have fan support and selling out? No, I want to understand the psychology of it, Blitzberg. Like where is your life at that you can't wait, to buy tickets to Iowa-Rutgers, to have the game sell out in August for Iowa? Tell me the last big win.
I respect those people, though, because they have faith in their team.
Why?
Where's
for whatever
the path?
reason.
What's the path?
What's the path?
Whatever reason, that I'm trying to get the Lions to act like that. That's what I'm trying to do. If those people can come out and say we're out full force, knowing they're going to suck, but they're still going to come out and support and think their team has a chance to win the conference or get into a bowl game, why can't the Lions come out and be full supportive of making it to the Super Bowl?
Drail 10 says drop Rutgers and Maryland's worthless teams in the Big Ten. Worthless. Maryland is probably the third or fourth most valuable team in the Big Ten. Third or fourth most valuable program. Because the Big Ten network's on in the D.C. metro area. Every single cable subscriber, satellite provider, anywhere it's on, the Big Ten gets a taste of that. We've gone over this before. Rutgers, probably outside of Michigan and Ohio State, the most valuable member of the Big Ten. The cash infusion they brought with them when they came in, that's the path. Like, that's the real-life economics of the situation. So I get the Rutgers thing.
Who's the least valuable? Indiana? Purdue?
Maybe Purdue.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking about, like, from a competitive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do they bring to the party that somebody else
Basketball,
doesn't
they're
already?
Solid. I don't know.
It's depressing there.
Illinois?
They're kind of the same, aren't
Yeah.
they? Illinois and Purdue?
Yeah. Maybe Purdue slightly better at football over the past 20 years or so, but it's not really anything tangible.
Yeah, basketball team's the same. I always hear about them. I never see it.
Yeah, speaking of teams that flame out early in the tournament, Illinois every single year under Brad Underwood, you can count on them going out in the second round. It's like clockwork.
Ryan Newmy says Northwestern.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Especially now.
They bring your GPA up, though.
Yeah. I mean, let Justin Jackson retire early.
They are in Chicago.
Yeah, so they probably have some value. They're probably more valuable than Illinois, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, they were.
Yes. For the what was the slingshot or something like that when they were doing in the locker room?
Fletch Lives Daily says Minnesota. And that is true, too. What's Minnesota ever done?
No.
Although I will say
Winfield.
this. They've won more national titles since the 60s than Michigan has.
Whoa!
Have they?
In the 60s?
Oh, and this, I mean,
They were a force.
I actually didn't know that, but yeah, they're the Dave Winfield. He was the Minnesota alma mater, but they're another team that is relatively mid in football every year. I mean, and in basketball, they kind of fluctuate between not making the tournament and barely making it in. Hey, it is the alma mater too, though, of Chris Humphreys and Lawrence Maroney.
Throwing that out there, Chris
Lawrence
Humphreys.
Maroney.
Lawrence Maroney. Eric Decker. Hey, he was a good wide receiver for a while.
Yep.
Yes.
Who's your favorite?
Antoine Whitfield?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Who's your favorite?
Junior.
Who's your favorite Minnesota alum? 248.
248. Oh, never mind. Flannel can't work the call-in line, so never mind. Drop it in the chat.
Hey, Jason Ross. That was pretty seamless.
I know.
Come
I
on
think
now.
JB Smoove for that. I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
He was there, but I
know. Blitzburg. I respect Iowa. They're always at least above average. Are they? When have they been above average?
I guess if you want to count the fact that Jack Campbell, Lucas Van Ness, and Sam Laporta, two of them were first-round draft picks, and one was at the high second round.
And they still couldn't do anything.
No, that's fair, but they had a couple players that you were at least worth watching. I mean, Jack Campbell, objectively, was an exciting-to-watch college player.
He says Iowa has the 6 most current players in the NFL. Only the Buckeyes have more in the Big Ten. Then I would say that's even more of an indictment, Blitzburg. All that talent, you guys are 7-5 every year. You guys score 8 points a game.
Oh, man.
They can't get the quarterback
Yeah,
right.
they're that, and they run like a 1980s
Yeah.
offense still. It's just there's no hope. You're not going to recruit anybody like that. And your wide receivers getting 3 targets tops a game. No way.
Do you know what school Brock Purdy went to?
Iowa State.
Iowa State, yeah, he got lit up by I remember
Perry
the
on
only
Winfrey.
Yeah, Perry on Winfrey absolutely took his head off one game. That's the only reason I knew that.
When we come back, you guys want to do? I want to do a 30,000-foot NFL thing. Week 1 of the preseason. I want to see where everybody's at. Just kind of a league-wide thing. I also do want to take a look at the Big Ten. See what Sam Flannel's thoughts are. You know what my thoughts are.
Go Bucks, baby. Kyle McCord season.
You're asking yourself for trouble, bro.
No.
I'm just telling you.
I watched a Joel Klatt video, and it made me feel very much confident about my original thoughts.
Really? Joel Klatt, huh?
Yeah. He put him when He went Georgia at 1, Michigan at 2, Ohio State 3.
Rich Diana, Iowa is low-key but solid. No, 7-5 is not solid. Especially, guys, again, to let you behind the financial curtain a little bit. Lindsey, you're a coach in NCAA. You'll appreciate this. Kirk Ferentz, the football coach at Iowa, had a provision in his contract that he would get an automatic raise every year he had 6 wins, and non-D1s counted. You ever wonder why Iowa's always playing 1 or 2 non-D1s?
Yeah.
That's why.
Gonna hit that bonus, baby.
Except for the years they would lose to North Dakota State or whatever. But yeah, that's a great agent, and you know me, I'm never gonna hate on you getting your money, never,
right?
Because you don't get what you're worth, you get what you negotiate, and he negotiated that. Fair play to him. I want your agent's number. But you know, with all that being said, that's why they stink, and they never do anything. What commercial you guys need?
Guardian Alarm. Speaking of defense, Guardian Alarm. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel, Lucas Klotz here in the building. All of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcast. Lucas, you're a person for this. Somebody told me yesterday we've been slipping on the Spotify posting of the show, so I just wanted to run that by you.
Yeah, we can crank it up a little bit for the audio listeners out there for a nice, easy listen. Make sure you guys tune in there.
Okay, there you go. Just wanted to get it to the proper channels.
Indeed.
Did you guys see this story? Somebody that bet $75,000 on Alabama on the money line against Middle Tennessee State. They will make $300 if Alabama wins. Every time I see these stories, I like to remind people, you guys understand that money market and CD rates right now are like over 5%, pushing 6%.
Right.
You are literally going to make more money if you take that 75 grand and put it in a 6-month CD. A, you'll get a better return. B, you can't lose it.
Right.
You cannot lose it.
Could you imagine if Middle Tennessee State beat Alabama?
Oh.
You know what? Middle
Divorce is
Tennessee,
coming
I will
next.
say this. I'm not calling for it, but Flannel, Middle Tennessee State, in all sports, they're always that they won at Miami a couple years ago. Like, they're not the ones you want to be messing with.
You see a path, Neal?
Yeah, but they're
Is there a
not.
path?
Look,
I'm not calling for it, Lindsey.
You know they're not
I'm
beating
just saying
Alabama.
throughout history, would you be comfortable? Or how about if I explained it to you like this? Would you be comfortable betting 75 grand to win $300
No,
against a team that won at Miami like 2 years ago?
I mean, I wouldn't do that regardless, but
I know you wouldn't. But that changes it a little bit when you hear it that way, right?
I mean, but this Alabama.
I know.
Basically a semi-pro
Lindsey,
team.
I'm not. How about you just put it in the bank and make more
Yeah,
money?
I agree totally what you're saying, but he's pretty safe.
Yeah, shout out for the heads up on that, Brandon Dogs. I don't understand it. What's 75 grand at 5.5% return is going to get you like 800,
Right.
$900.
Right. Somebody put Appalachian State. Who did they beat? They beat Michigan.
Michigan.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, remember that, Flannel?
Do I remember it? It was one of the worst days of my life.
Do you think that's the worst loss in Michigan history, Flannel? at least in recent memory.
You know what's funny is that was a team that was returning so much talent. You had Chad Henne, you had Mike Hart, you had Mario Manningham, you had Jake Long. They had national championship aspirations, and they were just done after that day. So I would probably say, yeah, can't think of anything worse.
LFG says, I hope Middle Tennessee State beats the spread. Well, LFG, all he needs is Alabama to win $300 on his $75,000. That's crazy. I'm never putting that much glimmer in play, man. No way.
He's just doing it for fun. He just wants some publicity.
Yeah. Lorena Rio starting to hear thunder here in western Michigan. I understand we've got some storms rolling in later, so keep an eye on that. Chuck Brewer says it's team support. It's not about the money. $75,000, it's always about the money. I don't care. I don't care who it is.
Right.
For real. It's always about it. Taylor wants to know, Sam Flannel, did Michigan ever lose to Chicago Dental School? They remained undefeated against them, right?
Stop it. You're acting like Michigan's the only team that ever played cupcakes back in the day.
They are the only one I know of that played the Chicago Dental School. That's real, by the way. It's not a joke. We looked it up.
I mean, a lot of the universities that you see today probably didn't even have football teams back then. So, we should get over that. It's no big deal.
Okay. They did play them, though.
Fine.
A dental school.
And that totally discredits everything they've done since then.
No.
I'm sure.
When did I say that? That's you putting emotion into it. The following statement is a fact. Michigan once played the Chicago Dental School.
Okay.
Period.
It's tone, Neal.
You gave him what
Tone
he
is
wanted,
fine.
Flannel.
I've been shown tone is fine around here. Like when I ask you, would these kinds of things that happen to us, would it happen to Ermanni and Edwards? No way. No way.
I'll talk to you after the
It's
show.
almost like we infer that it's somehow okay for this show, but not okay for that show.
No, it's not okay. I'm like I said, we'll talk after the show.
It seems to be okay.
I don't like to slander anybody. We'll talk after the show.
It seems to be okay. We'll just say it like that. Flannel, the Big Ten this year.
Yeah.
Michigan's in the playoff. Even if they lose to Ohio State, they're in the playoff. There are no other games that they won't be a double-digit favorite. Maybe Penn State, because people will fall for that okey doke. But at the same time, Penn State is no threat. Go ahead, build them. I guess I'll just ask you for it. I'll ask you for what I want. Give me the James Franklin buildup. Give it to me.
I'm not going to give you any. I'm not going to give you any James Franklin buildup. I'm just saying that they have a returning backfield, which is one of the best in the country. They have a great linebacker in Abdul Carter. They have a great corner in Kalen King. Give
it to me more.
They have a great offensive lineman. I'm just saying. And I think their quarterback coming in is actually better than Sean Clifford ever was. I'm not saying that Penn State is going to compete, but they're going to win
James
10
Franklin,
games.
Master recruiter.
He is. He actually made Vanderbilt the best they've been probably ever. That's actually true.
No. Ohio State's not Michigan's only competition. It's Penn State too. Did I tell you about James Franklin? He's such a recruiter.
They might both go into that game undefeated, Michigan and Penn State. I'm just saying. I'm not
Tell me more.
I'm not saying there's any excuse for Michigan to lose to Penn State, but that's a tough game. On the road, at Penn State.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about the whiteout. Tell me about Happy Valley. All the big wins that they have. You tell me about Penn State.
You are acting
and
like...
if Michigan goes in there and wins, it solidifies them as a national championship threat.
Did I say here? I'll turn it back on you. Did I say that? Did I say that it would solidify their national championship run? I'm saying that it's their second toughest game of the season by far. And going into Penn State, there's no guarantees. Ohio State has lost there before. And you're acting like Penn State is Maryland or something. Come on, Neal. They're clearly number 3. There's a big gap between the third best Big Ten team and the rest of them.
Nick Lucido, can I get another nom nom nom? Oh, James Franklin. Nom nom nom. Happy Valley. Nom nom. Oh, Whiteout. Nom nom. Penn State. Oh.
I never said that. They're the third best team in the Big Ten. And to just disrespect the Happy Valley, I think that's a little bit. That's too far. That is too far.
You crossed that line.
Build it up.
I just did. They have probably one of the best returning defenses in the country. That is actually a fact. Come on now. I think their quarterback is going to be better than Sean Clifford. Their incoming, I forgot his name escapes me at this point, but
from Medina. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I watched
Lucas, you give it too.
Hey,
let me taste your meal.
I watched him play because
Yeah.
he lived like 20 minutes from my brother in the game when James Franklin landed the helicopter down the field. I was there.
Get out of here.
What's it got? It's like Ang. It starts with an A. His last name starts with an A. Drew Alder or something like that.
Drew Aller,
something like that.
James Franklin's taking helicopters to high school games.
He's in the middle of the sticks, too.
And he's getting his ass kicked in every big game all the time.
Yep.
Stop with the Penn State.
What do you think he did for Micah? What do you think? He probably threw the PJ down there, had Micah hop on, pause.
James Franklin. Sappy Johnson, Neal is triggering me. I hope you're not a Penn State fan because all you deal with in your life is disappointment. Blitzberg, Neal is such a hater, but I love it. He's the reason I watch this show. I'm a Neal Ruhl fanboy. There's not many, so, you know. Your mom's favorite skater. Back-to-back Big Ten champs. Suck it. Lindsey, like, when did I talk about Michigan? I said you're in the playoff. No matter what.
You did.
Lose to Ohio State, you're still in.
But Penn State's a tough game. I am going to die on that hill until the season goes on. They're both going to go into that game undefeated.
It is not a tough game.
Yes, it's at Happy Valley.
Oh, tell me about all those big wins.
They don't have very many big wins, but they did go to the
Then
Rose
how's
Bowl.
it a tough place to play?
Because you can be a team that wins 10 games and not have any big wins. That's factual. Teams that can pop a team that any single time, especially when they're at home and somebody comes in on the road. Come on. Penn State they're guaranteed to win 9 or 10 games. Does that make them elite? No, but they are going to be a top 10 team in the country. I guarantee it, personally.
Okay. Steve-O baby. Neal, why are you bashing Michigan about not winning a playoff game when the Lions haven't made it to a playoff game? When the Lions have made it to a playoff game only once? Because I'm always told that they're a national power, leaders and best. They have all that except the resume, except the wins.
I mean, they're building that resume, though.
And it's line in the sand time.
Sure.
You don't win the national championship, your season's a failure. Period. End of story.
I agree. I've agreed this whole time.
But Lindsey, you know, not every Michigan fan's comfortable with that. I just want to beat Ohio State.
Well, I think that was the goal the last couple of years before they, started becoming the better team. Now it has to be national championship or bust. It has to be. Because all we heard last year was what? Oh, we're winning it all. We're the best team in the country. We're going to beat Georgia. We're going to beat Alabama. We're going to beat whoever we play in the championship game. They never made it. They lost to who?
TCU.
Oh.
Max Duggan.
I know. Funny. You guys act like Alabama made the college football playoff last year. Oh, that's right. They didn't. Just saying.
Well, you act like you guys won it last year.
No.
That's right, you didn't.
No, of course we didn't. It was the worst day of my life. I had to come in and take it. I had to take it on Big D Energy, and then I had to take it on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, and which I did with Spencer. I took all of the medicine.
Where everything worked during that show.
Hey,
so it was double. He had to deal with a
Flannel
double.
showed up at least. At least Flannel showed up to work that week.
That is true.
It was who was it? Me, Spencer, JB, and then I believe Fletch. It was a skeleton crew that day, but it was fun. Spencer actually was pretty nice to me that day.
Paul Thomas says spot on, Lindsey. It is though, and we're gonna get more into that. But Flannel, bottom line, man, because there are some people out there still that says, well, I want to beat Ohio State and win the Big Ten. You know that's an attitude that permeates Michigan. It's part of my problem with Michigan athletics.
Well, Michigan's already done that. And at some point you have to take that humiliating defeat in the college football playoff and grow from it and learn from it. You got to win the national championship this year. National championship or bust. And I see that Broder's in the chat. A fine Michigan man himself. I'm sure he would agree.
A fellow Wolverine.
He's actually an actual alum. I am not.
Didn't you go to Michigan though?
I did not.
Oh, somebody thought you did.
Nope.
God, you have like a passion like no other then.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Chuck Brewer chimes in. And Chuck and I vibe on a lot of things. I always get this qualifier. We butt heads about Michigan football. But even Chuck says 2 years ago it was Ohio State. Last year was Ohio State make noise in the playoffs. 2 years ago it was a success. Last year was a disappointment. This year it's chip or bust.
Yep, Broder just chimed in, agreed. So
I want these receipts,
They're
though.
going to have all this success in the regular season, just get smacked around by Georgia.
And Lucas, I want all these receipts because when everyone's calling in and just nom, nom, nom. Where am I going to get my Big Ten championship T-shirt? After you beat Iowa, because Iowa's 7-5 and in the Big Ten championship game, because they tied at 4-3 with every other team on that side of the Big Ten, and they beat them by 30. You know how they all get. They all get fired up. That means
that's the time.
Nothing. Can we get that on the record right now? That means nothing. That is an exhibition game for you guys.
Okay, it's not an exhibition game, but it is. It means nothing if Michigan doesn't finish the job. I am allowed to celebrate wins along the way, but if they don't finish the job, then retrospectively it'll mean nothing. Nobody's going to care.
True.
It means nothing. Nothing. See, it's still there with him.
What are
Lindsey.
you talking about?
Under the surface, it's still there. It doesn't. No, if it's championship or bust, by default, that means nothing.
So every single time, I come in after the Ohio State game if Michigan wins. I literally, you're saying that I have to sit here and be like, job's not finished. I'm not allowed to be happy.
Yes.
I'm not allowed to be happy if Michigan beats Ohio State. I'm not allowed to be happy if they win.
That's the definition of being championship or bust.
I said if they don't finish the job, that retrospectively it'll be a failure. But you are allowed to celebrate wins along the way. Do you think Alabama celebrates wins against Auburn?
Do you think Alabama? You think Alabama celebrates beating Auburn? You think they celebrate it?
It's the biggest rivalry at the school. Absolutely, they do.
Don't care.
Oh my God, bro!
They don't care.
Don't throw the headset, Flannel. Keep it together.
They don't care.
Breathe, baby.
They do care.
No, because their season's a failure. If they don't win a national championship, it's a failure.
Retrospectively, I said that. Retrospectively, it's a failure. You're allowed to celebrate wins along the way.
The button was pushed, Neal. The button was pushed.
All right, what commercial you want?
Big boy. Big boy.
Pick one.
You're big boy.
All right, cool. Strawberry Fest. You got a couple minutes left. The summer's almost done. Get to Strawberry Fest. Breakfast person, it's right there in your lane. Strawberry hotcakes, a mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Not a breakfast person? That's cool. Get a strawberry bacon chicken wrap for lunch. How about the refreshing summer splash salad? And don't forget dessert. The berry delicious, the classic, the OG of Strawberry Fest. Strawberry pie. Nom, 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 nom. Yeah, absolutely. Deep fried vanilla Oreos as well, or strawberry hot fudge cake. Get your local big boy for Strawberry Fest today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Keeping it pushing here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel, Lucas Klotz here in the building. All of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Two birds, both stones. A smooth transition as always, Neal. I try my best. Someone's got to be a professional around here, Lindsey.
I love Flannel's passion, though. His passion for Michigan is like no.
It's unmatched. Especially like you just said, he didn't even go to Michigan.
I respect
this
that.
Man.
I respect that.
You put on, Flannel. You put on.
Appreciate that.
Woodwardsports.com chat thread. Steve-O, baby. Neal, you're the same man that said the Lions were going to the playoffs. It came back to bite you. That's funny. I wasn't here for that show. Because what did I say, Flannel, when they were 1-6? It's over.
Oh, yeah.
The math says it's over. And guess what? They almost made it, but it's over.
Yeah,
almost doesn't count.
Yeah.
When you're 1-6, it takes almost perfect football to turn the season around and make the playoffs. They did turn the season around and give them a 9-8 season and give them a lot of hope for the future, but they did miss the playoffs.
Ryan Newmy, Neal, stop telling fans how to root for their team. It's just sports. It's not that serious. I never said that it was. I just asking for some consistency.
I like people who get offended like that. That kind of gives me a fire inside to be even
Ryan,
more of a hater.
Here's how this job works, Ryan. They give me a check, right? I have to come up here and talk about sports. But I'm not one of these people that just says stuff for clicks. I actually believe the things I say. That's where I'm different. I have to be part entertaining. I have to be part, somewhat knowledgeable about sports. That's the way the job works, Ryan. That's how I view it. They give me a check to come up here and tell you how I view things. This is how I view it. If I'm a Michigan fan, I don't give a shit if we beat Iowa in the Big Ten championship game. Don't care. It's an exhibition game. It's a for real exhibition game.
Not an exhibition
I don't
game.
care if I beat Ohio State. We've done that. I have one thing. I don't care if we win a game in the playoff. I don't care about that. And you guys will all be feeling yourself. You know you, Flannel. That's a guilty look on your face. You know it. You'll be feeling yourself. I don't care about that. I care about one thing if I'm a Michigan fan. Win a national championship.
And that's fair, but after the Ohio State game, if we win that, if we win the Big Ten championship, if we win a game in the playoff, then we are still alive. That's
right.
The thing, and you're allowed to celebrate. You're allowed to celebrate along the way. I think Chuck Brewer brought up something very interesting in the chat. Lindsey, were you guys allowed to celebrate beating Indiana in the 2004 Eastern Conference Finals, or was it just like job's not done?
Job's not done.
Okay, it's not done, but you guys celebrated. You guys were happy.
No,
Did you give a
Oh
shit
my
at
God.
all? Lindsey, be real with me right here, right now.
Job wasn't done.
Did you give a shit about that conference championship trophy?
Flannel, to put this in context for you, when I was with the Lakers and we won the Western Conference Finals, nobody celebrated. Phil wouldn't allow it. So he looked around. They were passing out hats, and he was like, yeah, we don't want that. So my perspective is a little different. I mean, I can understand you haven't, Michigan hadn't won anything in so long, so you can celebrate those little victories along the way. I get it. But when you have a bigger purpose and you realize that there's a bigger target, then you win. But you're supposed to win those if you're going to win a national championship.
So am I allowed to do a golf clap? Can I smile? Or do I just have to sit here with this stone cold look on my face? Job's not done.
Flannel, you can go
What's
light
there
your
to be?
Flannel. You can go light your farts on fire for all I care when you win. I'm just telling you how my approach is.
All right, and that's fine. Hey, and then that 0-2, the Western Conference.
I have a different, if I have a team that's expected to win it all, why am I getting so happy to do something that we're supposed to do?
Well, the Western Conference Finals back then was the championship because who'd you guys play in the finals? The New Jersey Nets. They had no chance.
Yeah, they didn't. But yet and still, the job wasn't done.
That's fair.
And that's it.
All right.
Like that's the mentality I'm asking you to have.
But did I also say that if they don't win the national championship, all of that is meaningless? It's just in real time, I am allowed to be happy. I guess I can't go to games then. I guess I can't clap when they score touchdowns. When Donovan Edwards breaks one, I guess I can't clap.
Like I said.
You can clap when they score a touchdown if you're entertained.
Yes.
You can do whatever floats your boat, buddy.
National championship or bust, though. And
do you vibe with it at all, though? How that's the persona and the attitude that bothers me about Michigan athletics, because I feel that that's through the athletic department. I honestly believe that.
But I said national championship or bust.
But you don't mean it.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Retrospectively, it will be a failure if Michigan doesn't win the national championship. This season will be looked at as a failure. You are allowed to be happy about wins along the way. You are.
Go Blue says, yes, but Jesus, considering the last 15 to 20 years, can we not enjoy the last two seasons? Yes. I'm Go Blue. I'm talking about this year. Like, you draw the line in the sand. If we do not win the national championship, this season is a failure. I don't give a shit if you beat Ohio State. I don't care if you go into Happy Valley and survive the Penn State Nittany Lions. I don't care. I don't care if you beat Iowa by 100 in the Big Ten championship game, because it doesn't matter. None of it matters.
It doesn't, but you're still alive for the ultimate goal if you get past those benchmarks as they go on in real time.
Not finished.
And it's not finished. But I'll be happy, I'll be celebrating, and then I'll be focused to the job at hand later on.
And that's I guess you're built a little different than Kobe Bryant when they asked him. Aren't you happy, Kobe? You guys have a 2-0 lead. What's there to be happy about?
Oh, because Kobe Bryant's just that black mamba and the killer, right?
Oh, God.
Job's not finished.
It wasn't finished.
Right. So therefore he wasn't happy.
Well, I guess if I...
Okay. I'll try this one last time and then we'll move on. I'm trying to get him to understand this.
No, but you got to understand, you can't put that in everybody, Neal. You remember when T-Mac was up on the Pistons and he was gloating about being up 2-0 or 3-0?
They were up 3-1.
Yeah,
Feels great to go to the next round.
Yeah, it feels good. We're up 3-0. We're going to cruise this next game and move on to the next round. What happened to them?
All I know is I finished my NBA career with as many playoff series victories as Tracy McGrady.
That's insane.
So that's why we're kind of like, your mentality is the job is not done until it's done.
But Flannel, here's my last ditch effort at this.
It's not going to work,
If you
Neal.
talk into that microphone and you say it's championship or bust, Those are your only two outcomes.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you're not being true to what you're saying. If you're saying, "Oh, I'll be happy if we beat Ohio State," no.
I will be happy at the time. At the time, I will be happy. It will be a disappointing season if Michigan doesn't win the national championship.
So you want it both ways?
No, I don't
Got
want
it.
it both ways.
Got it.
The season will be looked at as a failure if they don't win a national championship. I'm saying that. I've said it for the umpteenth time. I've said this for weeks now. National championship or bust.
And I'm sorry that this is like going on into another segment here, but Lucas, you're an Ohio State guy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's been tough. I really haven't been a supporter of the team the last 2 years. Couldn't stand Stroud or Day. Still can't stand Day, but Stroud's out of there.
Do you think I'm on to something with this? Because you guys were built that way. I got a lot of Ohio State friends, dudes that, from Ohio and stuff like that, that some of them were even so disgusted by losing to Michigan that they felt bad about getting in the playoff. And if they're not in the national championship mix, they don't care. Like, they're pissed off. It's not great to them.
I mean, yeah, it was always like, at least when I was like following the team super heavy, which was up to about the end of Justin Fields' days, it was like national championship or bust, but you obviously have to beat Michigan. If you beat Michigan and you still got in the playoffs like they did last year, I'm just kind of like, I don't really care that much, because at the end of the day, like, I don't really look at that as a national championship team if you lose to Michigan. It's like, how the hell did you win the national championship and lose to Michigan in that eyes? It's kind of like canceled out in my eyes, but at the end of the day, like you were saying, when we would play like Wisconsin in the Big Ten
and
championship
that's the attitude
game,
right there, to cut you off, Lucas. That's the attitude I'm talking about. Because it was Michigan fans' greatest nightmare if that field goal would have been good, and then they cooked TCU in the national championship. And you would have taken it, but you said you would have felt dirty about it.
Yeah, like it's kind of like a wishy-washy thing. Now the people that like absolutely meat rided CJ Stroud probably would have loved it because he could never beat Michigan, and that's where they're like, well, he's still good. But at the end of the day, no, you got to beat Michigan, and then you got to win the national championship. It's like a two-step thing.
Nobody in the world was happier to see that field goal go wide than Sam Flannel.
And that's okay.
I was too. I was cheering.
You're insane.
Ohio State. See, that's the difference between the two fan bases.
What are you talking about? So Lucas has this winning mentality and I'm a loser? Is that what you're talking about? What did Lucas say?
What?
Lucas said, I'm not supposed to care about the Ohio State game. I'm not supposed to care about it. That's what you said.
Because it's like, in order to get to the national championship, Michigan and Ohio State have to beat each other, one of the two. And if you don't and you still wind up getting there, it's kind of like, eh. But for my eyes, it's just, I was thrilled to see that shanked kick, just because I knew I will never watch CJ Stroud step foot in Columbus again. And it truly set the tone of like, okay, this team was not good, and this is the final preseason of like,
to where you have Flannel talking about JJ right now. He'll take this huge step forward. Can you imagine if your quarterback threw 2 pick sixes in a playoff game?
I mean, with CJ Stroud, I could have, but he didn't. That was the
elite, and you hated him.
Yeah, I couldn't stand CJ Stroud.
Because he has a fucking bone to pick with CJ Stroud. He's not being objective. That's not how Ohio State fans feel. Mother of fucking...
No, keep it on. Flannel, no. Flannel, put it back on. Put the headset back on.
I'm supposed to not care about the Michigan-Ohio State game. You said that since they didn't win, that you didn't even care if they won the national championship game. I'm supposed to not care about the Michigan-Ohio State game at all, and even if they lose, they can still win the national championship. How does that make you a winner? How does that make me a losing fan?
In the Corey Berry in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, the phones are definitely off now. There will be no phone lines. I hope you guys are happy with yourselves.
Lucas is just, hey.
It just came out of nowhere, man. Like, we were just...
Flannel, we can't really judge it on Lucas's commitment to his team, because he has a warped sense of like cheering. Like, he doesn't care if they win and if they lose to Michigan.
Yeah.
He's not a sensible guy.
It's just like...
He's not a sensible guy to bounce it off of.
Me and the relationship between me and Ohio State the last 2 years have been very complicated.
See?
There's a complicated relationship.
Yeah, he's been in a score. He's like been scoring by his girlfriend.
Woodward
felt like I got cheated on and stayed with her, and I didn't want to. It's just like, oh, that guy financially, I need her. I'm gonna be on the streets if not.
Exactly.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Brandon Katz. Neal's being a hypocrite sitting there with the Lions hat saying Detroit just has to win a playoff game to be successful, but he claims Michigan has to win the national title.
Ooh.
Hey, if the Lions were coming off a Super Bowl berth or a conference championship berth, then yes, it's only a success if you cash it all in. Like, come on, Brandon. That's ridiculous even for you. And you give out WNBA picks in your spare time. Come on, bruh. Which commercial you want?
Outdoor equipment. Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, and parts. Carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at WoodwardSports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Coming down the stretch here, and now it's
Swiss
Sam Flannel for Swiss
Insurance. And planning or sponsoring a golf outing this year, ask Swiss Insurance about hole-in-one, putting contest, and $1 million shootout coverage. For a very affordable amount, you could give away a huge prize like $10,000 or a new car. Help build your business with big ideas. Check out Swiss today, SwissINS.com, or call Mark at 248-800-4177. Again, that is 248-800-4177, Swiss Insurance.
All right, coming down the stretch, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network on a Friday. Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel, Lucas Klotz as well. Lions game day, Lions Giants tonight. Make sure you catch us on Monday. We'll have all the game reaction to Lions Giants preseason. Giants 2.5-point favorite, which methinks
Get
you're
your
going
bets in now.
Which methinks that you're going to see a lot of Adrian Martinez tonight and Nate Sudfeld.
Yep.
That's baked into that line.
Vegas knows something we don't know, and I don't like it.
Yep. So there you have it. WoodwardSports.com chat through Brandon Dogs. Lindsey, I got a question for you here from Brandon Dogs. Is it wrong that he gets bricked up every time Sam melts down?
No, it's not. I get bricked up too.
We all do.
Glad I could be of service.
How are we feeling, Flannel? You feeling better?
I'm good, man.
Okay.
It's just sports talk. I just get real passionate. I love you guys.
That guy 62. Way to collect yourself, Sam. Neal the heel is at it again. Two birds, both stones says Neal owes Sam a couple of shots of his best bourbon after getting him all riled up. And here's what's funny. Like, I'm wearing it about doing this. This was a Lucas Klotz production.
No
this
way.
wasn't me.
Don't put
I
this
didn't
on
do
me.
this.
This is not. Don't cast this stone over here. I'm
No.
Yeah.
You, when you said, I didn't care about winning a national title.
Yes.
You started that because that's what triggered him.
Sam flew off the handle after he heard that.
It wasn't intentional. I was just being
but
real.
That's just,
Flannel.
those were your true feelings. You're just a iffy fan. Like sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. That's okay.
Yeah. It's because, and maybe I misinterpreted a little bit, you said that you didn't care about winning a national championship, and I say national championship or bust, and you say that national championship should be the only goal, but you, Neal Ruhl, were acting like that was admirable of Lucas or something like that. That's what drove me crazy. How is that? He said he didn't care about winning a national championship. That's the only thing I'm supposed to care about, right?
It is.
Yes, because you haven't got one since HD television.
Okay. And what? Ohio State had one in 2014. I understand that was more recent, but still, that's still ancient history.
There was HD television at that
that's
time.
still ancient history.
It was just like...
And they've won 2 of them.
Yeah. Oh, that one against Miami.
Since you won a half of one.
Hey, that one against Miami, though, that was fraudulent.
Hell yeah, it was, and I'm a Miami fan, but guess what? When you look it up, whose name's next to it?
Ohio State.
So they won.
Yep.
Maurice Clarett, baby.
Bum.
Absolute bum.
Retrospectively, though, if he would have continued his career, I couldn't say that. But the way it went down for Maurice Clarett, am I wrong?
No, you're right, Playable.
Landon Shore says, Neal, why do you never get any heated debates with Spenmo? Oh, we got it cracking yesterday about Jared Goff and Hendon Hooker. Go back and watch yesterday's show in the second half.
Neal, he was heated up. What did you say?
I said I hope Hendon Hooker never plays for the Detroit Lions.
Why would you say that?
way.
Because if he never plays for the Lions, what does that mean?
That means Goff had a really, really great career here.
Thank you.
But you don't
Can
think
I go
Hendon's
now?
capable?
What?
You don't think Hendon's capable of
No.
being? What's your
I think
outlook?
if Jared Goff plays well, if Jared Goff plays like he played last year, you're never going to see Hendon Hooker. They're not going to roll out with Goff and he's playing at an elite level, putting up elite numbers, and they're going to say, "All right, that's enough. All right, Hendon Hooker, go. Here's the keys to this Ferrari. Don't crash it."
You can't deny. Let's say Goff stays at this level, and what they thought Hendon Hooker is going to be, he turned out to be, because a lot of times that's what Brad Holmes draft picks do. You have to admit he would expand the ceiling of this offense. He has a much better arm than
Lindsey,
Goff.
this is where I need you. Because here's the nuance that these guys don't understand. You are going to, because at that time, Penei Sewell will probably be the highest paid tackle in the game, right?
Yep.
Amon-Ra St. Brown will be amongst the highest paid wide receivers in the league, right?
Yep.
So, Lindsey, here's what they don't get, and here's where I need you. Then you are going to walk into that locker room, look those guys in the eye, 2 of the highest paid people at their position that have either already won or are knocking at the door of a Super Bowl, because you have to expect that. If my belief to Jared Goff, if he continues to play at this level, you have to expect that's where they'll be, right? You're going to look those guys in the eye and say, "Hey, we're moving on from your guy for a 30-year-old rookie."
Well,
for real? No,
Lindsey.
Lindsey. Let Lindsey answer the question. For real, Lindsey, how would that go in a locker room? Real life application. I know we do the fans and the fantasy and all that stuff. You, Lindsey Hunter, professional athlete, played with Kobe Bryant and Shaq and won championships with the Pistons. They walk in there and they tell those guys, "Hey, we're going to go with this rookie instead." How's that go, Lindsey? Tell me.
It's not going to go over well. Not well at all.
Here's the thing, though.
But see, the thing you have to understand is, if a team, especially having success, if the Lions, let's just say they went to the Super Bowl, they've had success, you aren't looking to start over, especially at the quarterback position, especially if a guy you have can get the job done. Now, if it's the end of his career and it's looking like, hey, we need to change,
that's different.
That's different.
Than what we've laid out. It hasn't happened.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Goff's not playing at that level.
Right.
If Goff plays at the level he played at last year, Hendon Hooker will never play here. Will never play here, guys.
But what if they don't get to the Super Bowl?
Then that's different.
That's different.
Okay, so what if Goff plays at this level, like he did last year, and they just keep getting to the same division? Then you would be okay with Hendon Hooker?
Depending on how it shakes out. Like if they're giving up 300 yards rushing in the first half.
Well, yeah, I'm saying like if this team is going where we expect it to, where it's going to be much more complete, but we just keep getting NFC Championship by the Eagles, Niners. I'm making up teams, obviously, but if we just keep hitting a wall, then you're content with moving on to Hendon Hooker.
And Chuck Brewer says it wouldn't be rookie Hooker, Neal. It's 3-year Hendon Hooker. But he's never going to play. When's he going to play?
But that's honestly the thing that you're drafting Hendon for, because you see where quarterbacks that sit, most of the times they don't work every time, but compared to rookies that are thrown in their year one.
If you're winning division championships and winning playoff games, dude,
that's what
you're getting good enough play from your quarterback.
But that's what the Chiefs did with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes, is what the Eagles did with.
I know you always go to the unicorn example, right?
But it's not. There's multiple examples where even if it's not like you go to the Saints with Drew Brees, you go to the Chargers multiple times with quarterbacks. They move
The
on
Saints
from
went and
quarter-
signed Drew Brees.
But I'm saying it's acquiring another quarterback and moving on. It's pretty much the same thing when you're developing him with your system.
See, but those situations are not equal. The Jalen Hurts thing was not equal. They were desperate for a quarterback.
But if they were building a team that had talent, either way, this roster by this point would be good regardless. Jalen Hurts, they moved on to a quarterback because they knew they would elevate the ceiling and they got the pieces that fit him. And I think that's the smart thing to do, especially when we have like J-Mo. If we can't keep hitting a wall at playoffs where you know this team can win a Super Bowl, you got to do something because these players aren't going to be around here forever.
It's not your fantasy football roster though, Lucas.
You
You got to
it's a
look vets
deep
in the
threat
eye.
if
You got to look
Jameson
vets in the
Williams
eye that lay it down for this guy. That's their guy, and you got to look them in the eye and say, "Hey, we're going to move on." And tell me how that gets received.
I feel like if they kept hitting that wall, they would feel the same exact way at that point.
Depending on what the situation is.
But
yes.
if it's on the flip side of it, they'd be like, all right, I see what you're saying. Like, and they've watched Hendon. Hendon is obviously a talented quarterback, and he has a hell of an arm. And this offense is very suited to protect his needs and his vulnerabilities, and he can develop with inside that, especially if we keep Panay, Amon-Ra, J-Mo, etc. This offense is fit for him to succeed perfectly. That's why I'm saying if we keep hitting a wall with Jared Goff, who this
and
fit
for
to
the
succeed.
people in there right now that are saying Joe Montana to Steve Young, then tell me right now Hendon Hooker, Steve Young. Like put that out there and say, all right, Hendon Hooker will be Steve Young in the NFL.
Go with Russell Wilson in
or
Seattle,
he'll be Patrick
third-round
Mahomes.
pick, Dak with
or
Tony
Aaron
Romo.
Rodgers.
There's multiple occasions like where it's happened and succeeded, and with Brad Holmes, I trust that process.
Okay, so he'll be Steve Young.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I think Hendon Hooker, Brad Holmes feels that, okay, I've seen Jared Goff play, but I know that Hendon Hooker is going to take this team. Till I'm proven wrong about Brad Holmes, I trust what the man's going to do.
Don't twist that and say I don't either.
I'm
the
saying,
sim.
though, if we keep hitting a wall, which I think with Jared Goff is very high, that we keep hitting that ceiling in the playoffs where it's like NFC Championship. I'm not saying it's impossible for us to reach a Super Bowl, but I just see the wall in the playoffs that we're going to keep hitting when we get these elite quarterbacks and teams. And Hendon Hooker is going to expand this offense into a
So he's going to be
threat.
Steve Young then?
He's
going to be great.
He's a right-handed Steve Young that's about 4 inches taller, and he's 30 years old as a rookie.
That's
That's
what you're saying. See, like when you work backwards from this stuff, that's what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yes, you are. You
because
Spindle, that's what you guys are
with
saying.
this roster, you don't need him to be Steve Young. You don't need him to.
Yes, you do, because you just said if Goff plays the way he played last year, but they can't get over the hump, then you're going to go to Hendon Hooker.
You don't need him to be Steve Young. You need him to be Jared Goff with a stronger arm. That's all you need him to do. To be able to create more plays. Just a better Jared Goff. That's all you need him to do.
So more plays, like 30 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
But when you go into Arrowhead week 1, I'd much rather have a quarterback that can score much quicker because he has a bigger arm and we got the tools that fit his needs. I'm much more confident with that than Jared Goff, who we're making sure that he keeps the offense flowing.
So you're starting Hendon Hooker next year?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
This is the reality, though. You're talking to me about fantasy. This is reality.
We're saying in the playoffs, if the Lions keep hitting a wall, never once was week 1 next year mentioned.
Then when's he going to play?
If I want to see 2 years. I want to see Goff play out his contract, and then if he takes us to the Super Bowl or NFC Championship, I want to give him a 2-year deal. But I'm saying like a Geno Smith deal.
Turn the PlayStation back on. That's not the way it works.
But do you really think?
Do you think Goff's going to take a 2-year deal?
If he doesn't, that's what I'd offer him. If not, then I trust Hendon Hooker. I do.
Okay, so he'll be Steve Young.
I trust
this is wild to me, dude, and it's getting more wild.
On another note, Brandon Katz, our guy, has said Steve Young was the most overrated quarterback in NFL history.
Oh, my God.
He was nothing without the 49ers system. Brandon Katz, shut up.
Your narrative, right? You craft whatever fits your narrative. Like my narrative's about Planet Fitness. But the thing is like I'm actually doing it. Spent the last 3 years as a member at Planet Fitness. They've helped me achieve every fitness goal that I had in my life. Now, I had to do it. Like I didn't just walk in the door and then boom, the work's done. You got to go do it. But we're live here at the Planet Fitness Studios. And I just can't recommend it enough, guys. I'm telling you what's happened in my life with Planet Fitness. Black Card member, $24.99 a month. You get access to over 2,400 Planet Fitnesses around the world. Come and go as you please. There's over 50 of them in Metro Detroit alone. Guys, you can do this. Planet Fitness is the play. They're the best gym in the gym game. Trust me on this one. Go to planetfitness.com or just pull in the parking lot. You'll pass a couple on the way home. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing, At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy Drink It and Live It. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer store. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best version of themselves. That's drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Final segment of the week. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel, Lucas Klotz. Some spirited discussion here in the second hour. Subscribe to the podcast. You can rewind, fast forward. Here's what you can do. You can listen to Sam's meltdown and then click the 15-second back button and hear it again and again and again and again. And then just breathe it in.
I'm still over here tripping on Brandon Katz.
Steve Young comments?
Yeah, man.
Got you fired
Steve
up,
Young is
Lindsey?
two-time regular season MVP. Super Bowl MVP. Had the greatest passer rating ever recorded in the history of football. And Katz said he was garbage.
Well, it's just the system. It's just the system.
Right.
The system created those plays.
Right.
All the Steve Young scrambles, the system
Right.
opened that up.
That time he ran for 65 yards on his and barely made it to the end zone. That was a greatly designed play.
Wasn't that like in his rookie season or like his couple first years playing, Lindsey, that scramble?
Yeah.
I think it was before they won a Super Bowl with him. I think so.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Hoof-Hearted. And look, these are the comments here where makes you feel good because people get the point that you're talking about here.
Yeah.
And there might be something to this. I don't know this for a fact. Hoof-Hearted says drafting Hooker was partially about contract leverage with Goff. That's an interesting theory to think about.
Yeah, because if Goff wants too much and won't settle for what will be overall good for the team, then they may have to say, hey, you know what? We can't pay you $55 million a year. We're not going to destroy our team for that long of a period of time. We got to move on.
Right. And it comes down to, too, like with the Goff thing. Say, hey, man, we want to keep this together as much as you do. So, what can we do about that? You know what that means. I'm sure you've heard that from a GM before.
Of course.
You know exactly what that means.
What does that have to do with me?
That was Lindsey's response. We're about the bag up here on this desk right now.
Hey,
Lindsey, what do you got popping this weekend, man?
Nothing, man. I probably mosey on over to Chicago for a couple of days.
Yeah? You're about that Chi-Town. Flannel, what do you got?
I'm actually going out with my sister tonight. She's actually moving out of state in a month, so we're going to have one of those throwback nights. So it'll be fun. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Shots?
Yeah. Probably.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That is cool. I know what you won't be doing. You won't be working on the infrastructure of Big D Energy over the weekend. That's been proven. And that's not a you thing, Flannel. That's an everybody thing here.
It's a total team failure.
It's a total team effort. No, total team effort.
Fair, yeah.
A failed effort.
Of nothing.
Hey, but we put together a pretty good show today, I will say.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
I wonder what the main, the linchpin of all that was.
That'd be you, Neal Ruhl. I gave you a lot of flowers at the beginning.
Lucas, what do you got popping?
I'm going to the game tonight with the fellas. Gonna go celebrate Easy's birthday.
Oh, Easy. Shout out Easy.
Yep,
30th
happy
birthday.
Yep. 29th. It's not his 30th yet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was keen on that. This
Might
is
be.
his last birthday in the 20s, but yeah, and then I got to go back home to Toledo. It's the grandparents' anniversary, so
Oh, nice.
see the fam for a second, and then get the hell out of there.
All right.
So.
Tomorrow, 7:30, Detroit City FC against Charleston on TV 20 in Detroit, ESPN Plus as well. Don't forget our guy Josh Parisian, too. We had him on the show yesterday. He's fighting on ESPN and ESPN Plus, UFC Fight Night. He'll fight around 5:45-ish, live from Las Vegas. So that's it. That's all. We've done all the damage we can do. Friday. All right. For Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel, Lucas Klotz, my name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.